At a crowded bus stop in the heart of the city, there lived a poor beggar. He spent his days asking passing travelers for a few coins to survive each day. One afternoon, while begging as usual, he noticed a man in formal clothes stepping out of a black car. The beggar thought, he must be wealthy. If I ask him, maybe he'll help me with some money. So, he walked up to the man and held out his hand, silently begging. The man looked at him and asked, "You always ask others for help, but have you ever tried to help anyone yourself?" The beggar replied, "Sir, I'm just a poor man. I depend on what others give me. I have nothing of my own to offer." The man said, "If you cannot offer anything, you have no right to expect anything either. I run a business, and I value exchange. Give me something, and only then I'll consider giving you something." With that, the man turned and walked away, leaving the beggar in deep thought. The beggar kept replaying the businessman's words in his mind. They struck a chord deep within him. He thought, maybe the reason I don't get much is because I've never tried to offer anything back. But I'm a beggar. What do I even have? How long will I survive by only asking and never giving? For hours, he sat in silence, lost in thought. Then, with a deep breath, he made a decision. From today onward, I'll make sure to give something to everyone who helps me. But a single question kept circling in his mind. What can I give to others, when I have absolutely nothing myself? 2 days went by, and no answer came. On the third day, as he sat quietly by the roadside, he noticed some fallen leaves shaped beautifully by nature. A spark lit inside him. What if I write kind words on these leaves and hand them out as a token of gratitude? He smiled at the thought. That same evening, he picked up some leaves, cleaned them, and wrote short, positive messages on each using a borrowed pen. Then he went near the buses to ask for help. Now, whenever someone gave him a coin, he handed them a leaf with a message like, "You're amazing," or, "Thank you for your kindness." People were touched. Many kept the leaves. Some even smiled and blessed him. This little act made people give him more money than before. He began collecting unique leaves every morning. As long as he had them, the flow of alms continued. But when he ran out, people simply walked past him. It became his daily rhythm. One day, while standing near the bus stand, he noticed the same businessman sitting inside a car nearby, the man whose words had planted the seed of change in him. The beggar walked up confidently and said, "Today, I have something to offer, a message of gratitude written just for you. If you'd like to help, I'll be glad to give it to you." The man smiled, handed him a note, and took the leaf. He read the message and said, "Impressive. You've become a giver. You're not begging, you're trading. You're a businessman now." Then he got into his car and drove away. Once again, the man's words sank deep into the beggar's heart. This time, however, they made him feel proud. His eyes lit up with joy. He looked toward the setting sun and shouted with emotion, "I'm no longer just a beggar. I've started my journey. One day, I'll build a future I can be proud of." People nearby stared at him, confused. Some even laughed, thinking he had lost his mind. But from the very next day, the beggar was nowhere to be found near the station. 6 months later, at the same busy bus stop, 2 smartly dressed men waited for their bus. One of them turned to the other and asked, "Do you remember me?" The second man looked closely and replied, "I don't think we've met before." The first man smiled and said, "Oh, we have. This is actually our 3rd meeting." The second man raised an eyebrow and said, "Really? I can't recall. When did we meet earlier?" The first man chuckled and said, "The first time was when you refused to give me anything, and the second was when I offered you a leaf with a message in return for your kindness." The second man's eyes widened in surprise. "Wait, you were that beggar near the station, the one with the leaves. Is that really you? But look at you now, wearing a suit. What's your story now?" The man nodded and said, "Yes, I was that beggar. But not anymore. I now run a small business creating handmade bookmarks and cards from natural materials. I'm going to a neighboring town to meet a client." After a short pause, he continued, "It was your words that woke me up. You didn't just give me advice, you gave me a way to see myself differently. That idea of giving before asking stayed with me. I realized I wasn't begging, I was offering something meaningful. Slowly, I stopped seeing myself as helpless. With every message I gave, I started believing in my worth. The money people gave wasn't charity, it was appreciation. And that shift in mindset changed everything. Eventually, I used that money to buy basic materials, paper, pens, even a small second-hand printer. I began selling handmade thank you cards with inspiring messages. People loved them. My small acts of giving became a real business. The other man smiled, clearly moved. "That's incredible. You truly transformed your life. I'm proud of you." The man nodded with gratitude. "You helped me see that success isn't about where you start, it's about what you believe you can become." This story reminds us of a powerful truth. The well-dressed man shared a timeless principle, the law of giving and receiving. And a simple beggar didn't just listen, he lived by it. That small shift in mindset led to a massive change in his life. Believe, give, grow, and you, too, can rise.